So niching down is hard. I mean, this is kind of the fundamental dilemma of starting a startup. And I said fundamental dilemma because I didn't plan this video in advance, okay? It's not the fundamental dilemma, but it's definitely one of them. Okay? And let's talk about this. So, when you're building a startup, um, what you have is you have the product and then you have your acquisition, okay? So product and customers, all right? And obviously your customers are meant to use the product, but they have to get value from this, right? So there's a value delivered by the product, and then your customers have to have emotion, all right? Emotion is what actually gets them to end up buying the product. And in order for them to have emotion, basically, you have to speak directly to them. Okay, so this is like your copywriting, right? So if you're, this is like, I think this is something Alex Hormozy said, but if you're selling something that's, you know, what we say sales, all right? So we'll say sales is going to be a sales course, all right? And let's say a sales course, I mean, this might be, you know, uh, $47, right? So someone just put together like a PDF on sales and you can buy it for $47. But now what we say is, and I'm actually just going to go to text because this is faster. I'm going to say sales course for realtors, all right? And now this is going to be $199 or maybe more because it's more specific. And we can also talk to these customers easier. There's less of them, right, than just anyone who's interested in sales. But we can talk to these people more specifically and come up with better copy in our ads that focuses on these people. And then, let's say we have a sales course for realtors over 100K a month. And now instead of $199, we're going to charge $19,000 instead, all right, for this course. And we're going to train your team. And so this is far more niche. This is even harder to, this is even less people. This is a fraction of these people. But we can target that copy very specifically. We can say, hey, look, we know that, your sales team isn't converting the way that you can or whatever. And then we can actually speak directly to them and we can invoke more emotion, and we can also provide much more value because we're going to build the product around this. Whereas if they just bought a generic sales course, this isn't that good because we're going to be like, hey, just, read this, like send this to your team and have them read it. Whereas if it's this that we're selling them, we'll be like, boom, we'll fly out to you and we'll train your entire team in person and, spend a week with you to make sure that they're all good. Whatever the case is, however you do it. But this means you provide more value and you also get a better bang for your buck on your marketing because you can invoke more emotion. So niching down is good, okay? But there's a problem with it, and it's that you're missing out, or it feels like you're missing out, okay? And this is kind of one of these strategic pivots that you might need to do, and you might need to do it multiple times, but if we say that the sales course, if there's, let's say, I don't know, there's 8 billion people, let's say that it's just the US, so there's 350 million people in the US, and let's say, I don't know, I think the number is something like 20% of those people are in sales. So let's say 70 million people are in sales, right? Now, if we go to realtors, I mean, I think there's a shit ton of realtors in the US count. There's 1.5 million realtors. So this is 1.5, that's a 5, 1.5 million, but as we'll see, 1.5 divided by 70, that's 2%. That's literally 2% of the market that we had before, and now we're focusing just on this, all right? And then if we go to this one, realtors over 100K a month, I mean, that's just insane because there's 1.5 million realtors. There's a lot of broke realtors out there. It might be, I don't know, 10,000 or something. And so if you go 10,000 divided by 1.5 million, 1,500, that's, what is that? That's 2/3 of 1% of the market. All right? And so of this market, and then of this one, it's even fucking smaller. So you go from a potential audience of 70 million down to a potential audience of 10,000. This is gonna cause you fear. This is what's hard, because all of a sudden you feel like you're missing out on these 70 million people right here by niching down to this group. But as we already saw, you have to niche down. You're going to get much better bang for buck. And let's be honest, I mean, nobody wants a generic sales course. They want to know that this sales course is developed for them. It's going to solve their problems. And maybe this sales course isn't the best example, but you kind of get the idea, right? So you feel like you're missing out. And this is the problem that I'm struggling with right now. Is I have this app, Streamline.so, and I need to make this better. Look at this headline, dude. Bring some magic to your high level. Like, this is so retarded. And yeah, I mean, it's just not. It doesn't really speak to anyone, and it's trying to solve a bunch of different problems that are kind of not that big of a deal. It's just not really a good model, And fundamentally, I have to niche down. I have to pick one kind of niche and really get hyper focused on them. So I'm going to be going after agency owners because not Pixelmator Pro, because of people that use. So I'm building extensions for Go High Level. All right. God, look at that handwriting, dude. Fucking flawless. So I'm building extensions for Go High Level. And let's say Go High Level users, like people who pay for their own account, not like white label clients. I think there's something like... Actually, we can check this out because if we go to my agency account and company, we'll be able to see my relationship number is 061248. And I've seen people that create their accounts before me, their number is much lower, and then people that create their accounts after and their number is higher. And I think this is just kind of an increment of when you signed up for high level. So mine is this. So I think that it's going to be, I think that they have like 1 million customers, okay? So let's just say it's 1 million customers that own high level, that use high level, right? But if we're only focusing on agencies that do like dialing and stuff, not just like SaaS agencies, I would say there's probably I don't know, well, probably like 250,000, right? So already we're down to a quarter. And this is just agencies. This isn't like people who are just using the app itself. And so it's a smaller audience. Then if we also go over, let's say agencies over 10K a month, then holy shit, dude, that's an arrow. then we're down to like, I don't know, 50,000 or something. No, probably more like 25,000, probably 10% or something like that. Not that many. So we've gone from an audience of 1 million to an audience of 1/40th of that. So just 2% basically of the total market. And this is what I'm struggling with. Like, my app is focused on, like, it just talks about like different automation stuff, and like that's cool, but it doesn't really solve a lot of problems. And I think it has to be better. It has to be more focused on the specific things that are actually going to help these agencies, you know? And that's going to be like a good reporting dashboard. That's going to be, you know, good analytics. And yeah, dude, I just like, I don't know, I have to niche down. And I was looking at this stuff, like, these are some ideas where people are like, hey, we need really good reporting, blah, blah, blah. Problem is, they're all planned. So I think I was just looking at this comment down here. It says, it basically, it's been planned for like 2 years. It still just says planned here, and that has a ton of votes. So I think, like, this is a good audience, but at the end of the day, like, it's planned. You know, if they come out and release something that just blows me out of the water, I'm cooked. Right? And then, add on top of that, Plecto is this dashboard creation tool that lets you like create gamified dashboards for sales and your CRM and everything. And it's great. A lot of people like it. You know, this is the gamified version, and then you can pull in like all this custom data. The interesting thing is, if you explore our integrations, we go high level, it's not here. So, but if we Google go high level Plecto, we'll find they have a page for it, but they don't actually offer the integration. I created an account to check, but I couldn't find it. So basically, tier. Anyways, it's like if they come out with this, if they release a better dashboard and allow you to plug into high level, then I'm also cooked. You know, so yeah, it's like, do I niche down? Do I focus on this thing that could get replaced? Because otherwise, you know, this isn't working. Like I'm getting some customers, but it's not the revenue or the amount, the, you know, type of clients that I need for this to work. And so, yeah, it's kind of tough, you know. As well as if I niche down, I'm gonna have to change some of the way that this app works. And yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just like, it's just annoying. Not annoying, but it's just like a thing, you know. Um. Anyways, this video is just a rant. Yeah.